All right. Hello, everyone. I am finally getting back to reading Pharaoh, Module I3, the Desert of Desolation series. I'm still somewhat confused. I have read through this. Let me set up my maps here. I've read through this section that I'm going to read to you now, which is one more page. No, one more page. The Plundered Tomb. So it's a decent amount of stuff to read, but what I'm confused about is how you get from, apparently you just go. You leave here and you go out, and apparently there's a stairway up to this platform. So I'm confused by what was going on in here because the guy inside was trying to figure something out. I guess I think what he's trying to get to is the actual tomb. And I think that was where he's trying to figure it out and he can't figure it out. Because I'm like, wait, you don't know how to get here? Because to get here, you just go out there and you walk here and you're there. So that isn't, if all you gotta do is leave here and then you come here, that couldn't have been it. So it's not. It's that he's looking for the actuals. And this is the plundered tomb, which we're going to get into. And this is a very cool part of the module. This is a little confusing too. I know where this part is, but this from here to here, I'm a little confused by this drop off here. I don't know what's going on with that. So I'll call out to Ye Old Geek, the YouTube channel Ye Old Geek. If you can help me answer any of my questions as I'm reading through this, I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm guessing you know this better than me. I believe you've run it with the players. I'm guessing you DM'd it. I would love to get some insights from you. Let's put it that way. All right, so let's read this and see if we can make any sense of this. When I am confused, I will tell you. If I am critical of something, I will say it. And if I am really impressed by something, I will say it too. So I will be commenting as I read. Section 3, the Plundered Tomb Prologue. Background. The entire pyramid radiates magic. That's cool. Teleport spells going into or out of the pyramid will not work unless the characters that are teleporting have the star gem with them. Love that. There's no way in this tomb. It's a theft-proof tomb, so it should block all magical attempts to enter. I wonder if it would block a wish spell. I'm guessing it wouldn't, or something, of that high level. See the Tomb of Amun-Re, room L67. Teleport spells will work normally within the pyramid. The entrance from the platform in area L1 is the only way into the pyramid. L1, right here. This is the only way in. And that's steps coming up from K9, right there. I believe. I think that's what it's going to say. If we go back and look at K9, we will see what it says here. Stairs lead out and upward from the east and west walls. A well-worn path leads straight from this doorway across the intervening 50 feet to the base of the pyramid. Here, a stairway leads to an opening 50 feet up the south face of the pyramid. So we continue. So that clearly is not what the guy in the temple is trying to figure out. He's trying to figure out how to get to the actual place, and he can't do it because it's not going to tell us. It's not going to tell you how to get there. I think I've got that right. Anything I get wrong, sir, just let me know. I would love, I'm looking for help here. All right, random encounters. Use the temple random encounter table in section 2, page 10. That is this odd random encounter table, I'm just going to say. But, it's okay. Lots of dervishes. I'm not totally sure how to handle the dervishes, let alone the dwarves around here. What are they doing here? I am confused by some of that. Plundered Tomb encounters. Use the Plundered Tomb map, which is right here. This map right here. Here we go. Entrance of the tomb. A platform and the entrance to the pyramid are at the top of the 50-foot high steps on the south face of the pyramid. So yeah, oh look, I figured that out. The platform is 50 feet across at the front, narrowing to 30 feet at the back wall. So that's 50 feet there. And then when you go 10 feet in, now it's only 30 feet. Right, okay. Simple. Narrowing to 30 feet at the back wall. There are intricate carvings of animals on the walls of the platform. I like that. 2 figures stand on either side of the opening in the center of the back wall. Play. Players must pass the monster to get through the entrance. Each has treasure. The carvings are only decorative. Nice. I like that. That you take the time to put things like carvings of animals on walls. I like the detail. Monster. 2 dervishes, Atfez and Pachi. So now we're naming them. And they have 16 and 18 hit points, which is much more what I would expect them to have as opposed to 1 or 2, which was ridiculous. They do 1 attack doing 1 to 8 plus 2. Interesting that they're strong. It's not magic weapons, right? I would like an explanation as to why they're doing plus 2. Now, they're lawful neutral. They're not evil, and they're on guard duty. Why are they guarding? What are they guarding? There's nothing here. You're going to see. Maybe they're guarding just to keep monsters out because they are inside here. But really, you're going to go with 2 guards? I'd put 10 out here so that some could run in if you're being attacked. That makes no sense to me. They react as typical dervishes. Treasure. Atfez holds 22 copper pieces. Wow, he's wealthy. While Pachi has 10 silver. Ooh, what the? This is a gold standard, folks. This is nothing. This is like pennies and nickels and dimes. And a pretty stone, which he found. A gem worth 100 gold pieces. Okay, there's some actual treasure. This is junk. Why are they that poor? Does that make sense? Should they be poor? Maybe. Maybe that's the point. They don't have much, and you're trying to show that they don't have much. That's what I think is going on there, why they have a little. And please, for those of you who do know this module well, please let me know if anything I'm saying is right or wrong. Like, yeah, you're right. That's why they have so little treasure, or I have no clue why they have so little treasure either. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know, because I'm trying to figure this out too. All right, L2. So that is the big area here with all the pillars and the statue with the secret door. We've got a secret door here. We've got a statue here. We've got these narrow corridors here. Let's see what's going on. This is a vast room of cool darkness with a cool darkness. I'm not sure what that means. With a flat ceiling, 20 feet high, as opposed to an angled ceiling, I guess. Support pillars, 4 on each side, stand 10 feet from the east and west walls. Both the walls and the pillars are of intricate design. Just inside the entrance, at the south end of the side walls, 4-foot wide corridors lead to the east and to the west. Right, there we go. Simple. All right. This room is roughly 50 feet square. Entering the room far enough to see the north wall, 20 feet in. You have to go, unless you have like continual light. But if you're talking torchlight or a light spell, you have to go in before you'll notice, will reveal the statue described in Trap Trick. I like that too. You shouldn't just be able to see everything. It's easy as the dungeon master to just tell them everything here. You shouldn't do that. You should see your light only goes in so far. I think that makes a lot of sense. But most people would probably have continual light at this point. So, there's that. I believe clerics can just pray for the spell. And I don't think continual light should be permanent. That's just another thing that I have with D&D. It's like, why is this spell permanent? How about it lasts for, I don't know, 1 day per level of the cleric? You want to go higher, like a week per level? I don't think it should be. It never goes out. Really? A 3rd level cleric spell? I just got a problem with that. All right. So I'm going to keep commenting here at times like that. Sorry. Trap Trick. There is a 20-foot tall statue of Amun-Re in the center of the north wall. The statue is carved from a different stone than the rest of the walls. It is a secret door leading to room L7. Right. Simple. Okay. Okay. L3, West Offering Temple. So now we're going here, and then we're going to go to the other one. And we have another secret door here. Before you, the corridor opens into a 30-foot square room with 20-foot tall walls rising to a domed ceiling. Okay, as opposed to a flat ceiling. In the center of the north wall stands a statue of Amun-Re. The walls are covered with old runes. Play. The statue is a trap trick, and the runes are found in lore. The statue, trap trick, the statue of a different stone than the walls is a secret door that opens up to a 10-foot wide corridor running 20 feet to the north and intersecting the east-west corridor near area L5. Okay, so it's going to come there and it's going to go to that area. Lore. Each rune has a base 30% chance of being read correctly. They read as follows. Now, I'm really confused by this. What is the right way to do this? If you say they have a 30% chance to figure out the runes, if they make that roll, doesn't that mean they'll always know how to figure out the runes because they've figured out the runes? So wouldn't it then just be permanent? So they only have to make this roll one time? That seems, like I think. If you have comprehend languages, would the comprehend languages spell automatically translate these runes for you? So you just have to keep casting comprehend languages. Wouldn't that do it? How about, I don't think read magic would do it because these are just runes. But I wouldn't give a 30% chance to each character, right? Because then obviously they're going to figure it out. But you really want them to figure it out. You want them to be able to read this, but you don't want to make it easy and obvious. So there should be some kind of a challenge. But is 30% a challenge enough? Because once they figure it out, then they could just come back here and I've figured it out. I've translated. I'm confused. How would you do this? Each rune, each one has a base 30% chance of being read correctly. So you go, oh, I failed. Oh, I failed. Oh, now I made it. So you can't read this one now? Do you see where I'm confused? So if anyone could help me out with that, how would you run this? It was said throughout the land that from that time forth, those who entered the tomb either came forth saying that its riches were already plundered or else they never returned at all. That's very significant to this module. And I like that it's not automatically given to the players, but I'm just confused on the best way to make this fun for the players. I never try to DM in a way to screw the players. I'm always trying to make the game more interesting, more fun to play, but that means making it challenging. And I don't know how the 30% is the best way to run it. Okay, I've made my point. That day did the river dry and the rains disappear. The arid sun burned into the land and everything withered from its gaze. Okay, the people too dried up and blew away like the grass that withered beneath their feet. All now that remains is I who tend this temple in the hopes that some soul might turn that terrible wrath of Amun-Re. Who's the I? I'm confused. I also sell trinkets to the tradesmen who come, although lately sales have been low. Has this person already died? I'm not even sure. So if anyone knows, the building of the pyramid was a colossal feat, especially in the bad years. The gold piece had been lowered in value so many times that the people began to wonder if there was any future in the gold piece at all. Is that why they have so little treasure? Is that a clue here? The trade business died away after the first 4 years, and now here I am holding 12 cases of pyramid statues. 12 cases of pyramid statues. Okay, I don't know. Oh, for the days when a priest could earn an honest gold piece. So yeah, I'm a little confused by it, but I think there needs to be some better explanation, but I think that's why they don't have much. All right, so now they're going to go into this room and where all these people are, and this is L4. This is this room right here where there is no secret door, but there is a secret door there, which is fine. All right, there's a reason for that too, which I like because I've already read through this. Before you, the corridor opens into a well-lit 30-foot square room with 20-foot tall walls capped by a domed ceiling. Torches attached to the walls brightly illuminate the 5 runes on the walls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, got it. The 5 runes on the walls. In the center of the north wall, a 20-foot tall statue of Amun-Re, 20 feet tall with arms outstretched, holds an altar of blazing fire near his chest some 15 feet above. So there it is. There's his hands holding it, and they're like worshiping. The room is filled with prostrate robed figures bowing on the ground toward the idol. Play, the dervish monsters will be dealt with first. The altar bowl is a trap trick, and the runes are found in lore. 11 dervishes. Some of them would hit points like 16, and some would hit points like 3, 4. Are you kidding me? What? And again, 1d8 plus 2. And their assistant, the Holy Laseda, I'm going to call that, He can cast those spells: protection from evil, purify food and drink, sanctuary, chant, hold person, silence 15-foot radius, and dispel magic. I guess so. Character. If these thunes, we haven't seen character mentioned yet. I'd have to go back and read what that meant, but we don't need to. If these thunes react favorably to the party, they might tell them that they are here offering alms to this deity for the return of their great leader and his men, who disappeared here some 10 days ago. They know that their great leader entered this room after having read something in a white book indicating this was the correct entrance to the rest of the tomb. Trap trick. The flame burns with neither smoke nor heat. Whenever something or someone, 15 feet up in the air, someone enters the bowl. So I don't know how you're going to get up there, but okay. The flames surge around them, blocking them from the sight of others in the room. When the flames die down immediately thereafter, whatever was in the bowl has vanished. The flames do no damage to those who enter them. The bowl is a rather spectacular one-way teleport to L13 in Cordon's Master Maze, and they are teleported right to the center right there. That's really, really cool. You're just, boom, you stand in this bowl, next thing you know, you're here. The party has no idea what happened to you, so they're probably going to follow, and you're all going to end up in that room and have no clue where you are. No clue at all. I love that. The dervishes here believe that their offerings have been accepted by their great god. Each rune has a 30% chance. Okay. If these thunes react favorably, so do you roll a reaction roll for each character? See, I tend to not do that when I would run a game. I would just simply look at the situation and say, if I were these people, how would I react to this party that just came in? Would I attack? Would I be suspicious? Would I be afraid? How would I react? And I think what they would do is, who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you here? They would be like, what the heck? Where did you people come from? I don't think a roll makes a lot of sense. Oh, I've rolled favorably. Hi, how are you guys? Hey, great to see you. What? No, every one of these people would be like, who are these people? What's going on? They might be nervous. They might be afraid. They might be angry, but they could be easily reasoned with if they realize that the party is not a threat to them. They could threaten the party. Sure, you could roll a reaction for how angry or how happy they might be, or how, cautious they might be. But in general, they're not just going to be like, hey, yeah, what's going on? There's no way. You wouldn't. If a party of adventurers that you've never seen before walked in here, how would you react? That's how you're going to react. And then you could make a roll for, possibilities of things, but this is where role play can be really hard to do for me. And I'm just curious, how would you guys play this? All right, let's read these runes because this is wild. Though there had been much bad talk about Amun-Re, it was generally recognized by the people and priests alike that he was the greatest of the gods in heaven westward, for he alone manifested his power in his own temple. Sacrifices of food and gold were brought daily to lay on the altars before the statues in the small worship temples left and right from the stair entrance to the tomb. Left and right from the stair entrance to the tomb. Okay, so we're here, and they're saying left and right from the stair entrance to the tomb. I'm guessing they mean left and right, these entrances? I don't know. Anybody? I think that's what they're talking about. It is our priesthood right that whatsoever Osiris accepts, he will take from the altar, and that which he wishes the priest to have, he leaves on the altar. This altar? Is that the altar? Outstretched arm, told an altar bowl. Yeah, okay, that's it. He leaves on the altar. This profited the priests greatly, except that all offerings left in the east temple would disappear and never be found again. Are there ones in the... Oh, is the L3 also of him with the altar bowl with nothing going on? Oh, yeah. No? doesn't say anything about him with his hands outstretched. I'm going back here looking at L3. I don't see any mention of an altar. Am I missing something? Seems like there would be an altar there. That would make a lot of sense. You'd have an altar for both statues. The temple became, okay. Offerings left in the east temple would disappear and never be found again. So there should be a west altar. Several priests, upset to see their assets disappearing, searched the east temple, and they too disappeared. Oh, it didn't say that they climbed on the altar and disappeared. They're not going to tell you that. Of course not. The temple became a most hallowed spot, so that all who wished to give offerings came to that temple only. The priesthood then became unprofitable, and our doctrine had to be changed. Trade turned to trick. Okay? Offerings were often made, for a passage was always provided between the tomb of the king and his likeness, whereby his spirit might pass into his ordained statue and live within the stone we worship here. Such a passage was always provided for the kings that they may live among us once more. I'm not really sure if the party's going to say, hey, maybe we should climb in this altar. I mean, it's big enough that you could stand in it, but would you do that as a party? It seems odd to me. All right, let's go on. We'll ignore whatever I just wrote this on the side that they can hear the water. This is what I'm marked in my notes. I remember when I did this. Let me realize I need to adjust this a little bit. All right, the L5, West Storage Vault. So here we are with this right here, and there's water. The 10-foot wide arched corridor opens into a vertical circular shaft 30 feet in diameter with wet, slime-covered walls dropping into the darkness below. A domed ceiling peaks 30 feet above the arched opening. The air here is very humid. The shaft drops down 120 feet to the surface of murky water below. The water itself is an additional 30 feet deep. The water has special properties as found in treasure. The party is going to lower themselves down there? I don't know if they would. And then what? Because let's see. Treasure. The waters of Athos fill the bottom of the shaft. See treasure in area 6 below for the benefits of this water. L6, East Storage Silo. So now we're going to go over here and look at the east one. Looks like there's some kind of a waterfall on the drawing. The 10-foot wide arched corridor opens into a vertical shaft 30 feet in diameter. It's wet and slimy walls dropping down in the darkness just like before. A dome ceiling peaks 30 feet above the arch opening. The air is very humid, blah, blah, blah. Sounds of cascading water. The shaft drops 120 feet, just like before, into turbulent and foaming. All right. The shaft drops 120 feet below into turbulent and foaming white water. 50 feet below the arched entrance, water is gushing from an opening in the north wall at a tremendous rate. 50 feet below the arched entrance. Huh? See, I'm confused. The 10-foot wide arched corridor opens into a vertical shaft 30 feet in diameter. Okay. All right. So this is not like the other one. Water is gushing from an opening in the north wall at a tremendous rate, falling to the water below, which is an additional 30 feet deep. See treasure below. These are the waters of Athos. The water will restore 1 to 10 hit points once per day when a character drinks it. The character's body is then saturated by the healing elements of the water, which takes 24 hours to dissipate, which means the water will not heal him again for 24 hours. So you can't drinking it again within 24 hours will not do anything. I like that. That's how you do it. You don't make it permanent. Hey, just go drink some water. No, that's good. Lore. It is from the bottom of the silo that the river water of Athos was teleported out to the now dry fountain pool. This teleport was rerouted back to Athos by the curse of Amun-Re. but will work again after that curse is broken. The pyramid concentrates cosmic energy to give the water its healing powers. The water will not have any healing powers outside of the pyramid. Thank goodness for that. It shouldn't. So that's all fine. So if they can use this water somehow for healing purposes, great. But I don't see them really going into this water. But who knows? Worship room. So now we're going to go to the middle room with the statue with the secret door. This 30-foot square room is accessed by a 10-foot wide arched corridors in the center of the east, south, and west walls. There are no writings on the walls, and the ceiling is flat. Against the center of the north wall is a 20-foot tall statue of Amun-Re. The statue is, of course, a secret stone door. Lore, the tombs of the kings all had false tombs. I love this. And this one is no exception. If things have been easy so far, it is because it was intended that way, to mislead. Players who have ignored important clues are about to go to a lot of trouble for some broken pottery and a few copper pieces. That is great. Descending corridor, L8. So now we have this thing, I think. I'm pretty sure that's this. And then it's going to go further over here as well. So this is going down to there. I'm not sure what's the point of the slope other than we're going deeper into the pyramid, I guess is the point. Descending corridor. A 10-foot wide arch corridor leads down at a 23-degree angle. Are you sure it's not 24 degrees? I'm just being silly. A musty smell pervades the area and dust covers the floor. Or I should have said, thank God it wasn't 24 degrees because that's just too much. Play. This corridor is 70 feet long. Oh, thanks for that play. That's a little silly. But yeah, okay. So it's 70 feet long, and it goes into the room with all the statues and something in the center, maybe an altar, and there's 2 secret doors. The Great Worship Room. A corridor enters the south side of a large room. Wouldn't the dervishes say, oh, wouldn't they already have figured this all out? There's another question. Wouldn't those guys, if they talked to them, say, oh, we've been through this. There's nothing down there. I mean, I'm assuming they would know. They've found these things. Just curious if I'm wrong about that. All right, a corridor enters the south side of a large room, 30 feet wide east to west and 40 feet deep north to south. The north wall is lined with 3 statues of Amun-Re. Ah, yes, and there are 2 on either side. The north wall is lined with 3. There are also 2 statues of Amun-Re on each side wall. In the center of the room stands an altar. Side by side, impressions of a left and right hand are carved into the front of the altar. On the ceiling and remaining walls, Amun-Re is carved over and over in several languages. Now, don't tell them it's carved in several languages. You notice that one of the languages is in your tongue. You wouldn't know. You see runes, but you don't know what they are. So you don't read it like that. But you recognize one of them as your language. And if there's an elf in the party, yeah, one of them says it in Elvish, one of them says it in Dwarvish. You could do everybody. Or you could just pick certain languages, and if they match the party members, then there you go. It's carved in several languages. What? Maybe they would know. Maybe they'd go, that's some other language, I guess. Maybe I'm overthinking. Play. The center statue on the north wall opens as a secret door to an empty alcove. See trap trick for the use of the altar, and opening the southernmost statue on the east wall. Trap trick. All of the statues are cut from a different kind of stone than the surrounding walls, of course. The center, just like before. The center statue on the north wall will open into an empty room, 10 feet wide and 20 feet deep. This room once contained a sleeping gas, but the trap was sprung long ago. If a player puts his hands into the altar impressions and says Amun-Re, the wizard-locked statue that is southernmost on the east wall will swing free to reveal a corridor 10 feet wide by 30 feet long that turns to the north to room L10. All of the other statues are cemented to the wall and will not budge. I'm assuming a knock spell will also work since it's wizard locked. All right, L10, the grand hallway. Here we are. This is very neat too. I like this. This hallway slopes down at a 20-degree angle. The plaster from the great they'd be worried right now that something's going to slip and drop them into a pit. That's the first thing they're going to start fearing. The plaster from the great frescoes that once covered these walls has fallen to rubble on the sloping floor. Axe and hammer marks cover the walls. Dust blankets everything, and the air is very dry. Play. This hall is 80 feet long. A broken door will be found at the far north end of the hall. Great. Lore, this hall and the other rooms in the false tomb were prepared to fool robbers into thinking that they were not the first to arrive and, therefore, were too late to remove the treasure. Just curious, wouldn't the dervishes say this to them? Oh yeah, this is just all, or would they have said, oh yeah, this was already plundered long ago. There's nothing there, we've been there. It's already been plundered. We don't know who. Wouldn't that come up? I don't know. I would assume it would. The fact of the matter is that the pots, chests, and frescoes were hacked up by the higher priests before Amun-Re was laid to rest, so that no matter how soon robbers broke in, they would always think that someone else had broken in before them. Great. I like it. Treasure room. I think this is very, very, very well done. Treasure room, this is the big, thick room, and then we're going to go to the final room there. Beyond the broken door is a huge room. And the door's been broken, so they've broken in. The room is 20 feet tall, rising to a flat ceiling. The words treasure room are carved into the walls in giant letters in several languages. Treasure room! I don't know if I would do that. I might not say that. It's like, let's let them know that this is the treasure room. I don't know. Maybe. Scattered about the room are broken pots and chests that have been hewn in half. All are covered with a thick layer of dust. The room is 50 feet wide, east to west, and 40 feet long, north to south. In the center of the north wall, an arched corridor leads to the north. Yeah, so here we go to the tomb. This room is 30 feet wide, disappearing into the darkness. In the center of this 20-foot tall room sits the sarcophagus, a large ornate stone coffin. Its lid is ajar. Fill it with some water then and have a drink. No, I'm just kidding. I'm being silly again. If its lid is ajar and broken. Oh, it's a broken jar. Well, never mind. It contains nothing but dust. In the center of the north wall, ancient writing has been chiseled into the stone. Lore, the writing had 30% chance. Here lies the true tomb of Amun-Re. Know that ye have arrived too late to plunder my ransom for heaven's gate. To which I would say, if I were the player, so they carved it. There's runes telling me that we've gotten here too late. That sounds odd. And that's it. And then we'll begin next time with Corydon's Master Maze. And I'm assuming the Corydon's Master Maze is going to be wild because, oh my God, look at this crazy place. So it should be wild. But I'd love to hear from anyone who can offer me tips, suggestions. What am I missing? Am I overthinking on certain things? What are your general consensus of this module? Now we're really getting into the meat of the module where things are going to get wild. I know because, as I said, I watched Ye Olde Geek's review of this module, and he said this was all really, really good stuff, and why he still gave it a 7 despite all of his issues with it, which I agree with all of his issues. Dervish is with 1 and 2 hit points when they have 4 hit dice, and no explanation as to why that is. Very confused by several things in this module that they didn't take the time to properly explain, and I don't know why they didn't do that, seeing what a great job they did on so many parts of this module. It's very odd to me. See, I wouldn't want to put forth something that left. I would have people read it and say, "What did you think?" Well, I'm confused by this. I'm confused by this. Didn't you work this through and have people read it and tell you? I don't get it. Why not fix all of the issues? I'm very confused why they didn't do that, because this is a really good module, and you're going to see as we continue on here. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Also, in addition to this, if you like D&D adventures, I've written 2 D&D fantasy novels. They're big book. Big book. There's illustrations in this book too, but you don't need the book. I've narrated this book on my YouTube channel. Forestera's Fate, Book 1, The Sacred Shrine in the Valley of Caves, and you can listen to it. Forestera's Fate, Book 2, The Caves of Ordered Randomness. This is a D&D book. This is a story about 8 people who go adventuring, and the adventures are the story. And there are more things than just the 8 people going adventuring. There's more than just that. But that is the main crux of those books. Hope you will listen to my narration. I will put links in the description below of my narration of this so that you can go back to the beginning and start. It's all in a playlist. My books are in a playlist. I'm also reading Magic Kingdom for Sale Sold by Terry Brooks. I will put the link for that playlist because that is a great fantasy story. And if you have not read it, well, my first video will be a review of it, followed by me reading the book. Chapter 1, though, I'm going to be showing some other things that I'm doing, including this module, but I eventually read chapter 1 in that first video. So hope you check all that out. I'd love to hear your thoughts about my D&D novels. I think you'll greatly enjoy them, and you will recognize certain things in the books. I'm not going to say any more about that. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.